Hi everybody, I am the Dawn Alchemist, and as promised, I am going to show you something that's a little beginner friendly, a little more beginner friendly than last time, but it requires a bit of preparation. So beginner friendly doesn't mean effort free, it just means that you're less likely to screw up. Actually, before we do that, how about we check out the embeds from the previous video? Do I have much faith in these guys? Not really. Well, look, let's see how they turned out. Hey, who knows? They might surprise me. Oh. You know what? It's not all bad. And if you're wondering why I have baking paper, that will be revealed as we go along. But for now, holy mollies, these turned out nicely. Yeah, okay. That was a complete surprise. I'm going to use this again. I'm actually going to make a full set of 10 embeds for a future batch of soap. This color is pretty freaking nice. Now, the thing about these particular embeds is that they are super fragile. I think did I botch that one? I think I might have botched one already. They're nice. I need to place these somewhere. Where can I place them? I know. I'm going to place them on a paper towel just so I can move them easily. That's all. All right. So the reason for the baking paper, as you can see, it's helping me catch any little bits of remaining soap, right? And this is going to come in useful. Yeah, these are nice. Okay, I'm really liking these embeds. Damn, I did not expect this. I thought it would have been botched like the last one, the last batch. Well, yeah, I need to be a little bit more careful in removing this. This mold is just where did I get this mold from? Oh, I can't even remember, to be honest. But I know it wasn't expensive at all. It was some little cheapy mold, and it's obviously for cake decorating. Check this out. Not too bad. I think it's pretty nice. Yeah, nice. Let's do something with these next time. All right, but for today, this is going to be the preparation step. Now, the prep step involves a previous batch or two of soap you may have made. I'm going to be using this batch here and this is the very first batch we made together with the original embeds. Maybe the first batch. Can't remember if it was the first or second. I think it's the first. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, what do they call it? Plane the edges from this. Now, this is a very common thing to do simply because if I was to use a bar of soap, look, it's okay, but these parts, the corners, the edges feel very uncomfortable. It surprisingly makes a difference. Some people might say, oh, you're overreacting. Soap is soap. You try holding a, well, sort of bevel, no, not bevel, bevel is something different, planed soap. Yeah. Now, I could have used my soap cutter because, not this one. Where is my soap cutter with a bevel? Anyway, I actually have a soap cutting, I won't call it a jig. It's not a jig. It is a jig, actually. Yeah, I have got a soap cutting jig on the reverse side. There's actually an edge to plane your soaps. You know, you can feed it through. I've never liked it. I always found that I had an uneven, it was just uneven, the result. And I ended up taking off too much soap, which, wasn't nice. Using a decent quality soap peeler gives you a good result, a better result. Yeah, this is an old batch of mine. But what I'm after are these little soap shavings. You can already see where I'm going with this one, right? We are going to use the soap shavings as part of our soap today. Oops, I think I didn't bevel that very nicely, but I'm kind of don't really keep calling it beveling. Didn't plane that properly. Yeah, this is our pink lemonade soap, wasn't it? Which doesn't look too shabby. Yeah, I can't wait to do this. I can't wait to put this into the soap and show you how easy it is. Yeah, so I mean, you get the basic premise, right? All these soap shavings, which I would normally throw away, we are going to use to make a cute little pattern. And you can tell this is pretty, I want to say idiot proof, but I'm going to dig a grave for myself. It's easy to do. At least you can look at these soap shavings. You know that the soap is already, this is what you're going to get in terms of colors. And yeah, it gives you a bit more bulk as well. So standard would be your 1 kilogram of soap oil plus your sodium hydroxide volume, right? But then when you add this, it'll give it more volume. So be prepared that you might get a bit of an overflow. Anyway, I'm going to continue doing this. We're going to get the soap shavings and let's just keep going. It's me again, and we are going to use our soap shavings. So you see I've collected them all in here. It's going to be quite useful. Now, I did say this is going to be a beginner-friendly pour. Look, let's see how we go. I think we'll be all right. I'm just going to get my blender ready. I always forget to do something. And this is what I forgot to do. So let's pop you in. Okay. Alrighty. Now I have here 1 kilogram of oils and I have my colors. I've got what's called a winter white. This one should look quite nice actually. I am going to just disperse the mica in a bit of oil to begin with. That way we won't get those horrible clumps when we blend it. I could have done this before, but I thought you might appreciate watching me do this. I just didn't anticipate it would take so long. Normally, you'd add about 20 grams or so of oil. I know I've added more. That's fine. I've done this so often that this part is not critical. I mean, in terms of how much oil you use. What matters is that you don't obviously go too crazy and add half your batch of oil when you do this, or it just won't work. Question some people might ask, why wouldn't I add my mica to the oil? Sure, but what happens if you want 2 or more colors? Well, that's why you got to do this. And yeah, that should be fine. That won't create any clumps. It's mostly dispersed. Okay, I'm not too fast. I'm probably going to blend this one anyway. So what I did was I collected the soap shavings and I just used the baking paper to help me put it into that little plastic container. Makes life so much easier. Yeah, this one doesn't take as long. All right, that's done. Hopefully I haven't botched the other one too badly. I should be okay. I don't think it'll be the end of the world. She'll be right. She'll be right. Okay. Now what I do want to do is I want to try using this little mold once again with the red this time. So the intention is I'm going to add let's move this up so you can see it a bit better. I'm going to add my lye solution. to my oils. Okay, so this lye solution has been prepared specifically for my oil mix. Depending on what you use, you're going to have to adjust the amount of sodium hydroxide you add to water. But yes, please be careful with this step. Anything that involves sodium hydroxide, as soon as you start to stuff around with those sorts of chemicals, you are risking your vision. All right, so my oil mix today is going to be a lovely blend of floral and floral, yes, floral and floral. I'm not going to say exactly what it is, but always essential oils. Okie dokie. Actually, I will say I went a little bit crazy. Once again, add a little bit of rose. Okay, what mistake do I always make with this? Overblend. So let's see if I can stop myself this time, huh? Wish me luck. Okay, that's 5 seconds-ish. This immersion blender really combines everything nicely. Like, you get to trace so quick. I used to use just a cheap $8 blender, and wasn't even $8. It was very cheap, and I wouldn't get this sort of result. It was fine though. It was fine for what it did. I mean, it wasn't, it didn't do anything terrible, but it just did not. Alright, that's done. I am getting a bit trigger happy here. That's more than enough. Okay, I'm going to show you how it's going to be beginner friendly in a sec. But then first, let's separate out our colors. Let's first put this in the whip. Okay, I'm going to continue to blend. That's why I'm holding this blender here. All right, first we're going to put some white. A decent amount, that'll do. And the red will go back in here. How much do I have in here? About 300. Let's put, just put about 4. Actually, put a bit more. Okay, I'll show you where. I'm going to try something a little, I don't know if you call it tricky, but something a little different today. No, that's not going to work, is it? I could keep holding with one hand, but it's not going to do me any favors. All right, so let's quickly add my mica in. Now, when am I going to add this is my usual trick for, when I've stirred a mica in a separate container. So yes, when will I add my soap shavings? We could add them first, couldn't we? Try something cute, see how it turns out. But either way, what needs to happen is I always would blend the lighter color. Oh, did I just? So I had a separate skewer for the white. Yeah, it's one of those days today. I am brain fog. I don't know. It's just one of those days. Haven't had my afternoon coffee yet, so that could be it. Yeah, who knows? All right, now I said it was going to be a beginner-friendly pour. To do that, I want to do something super simple here that you're going to see. This is what's going to make it beginner-friendly. Although I do want to blend that white just a teeny tiny bit. I just don't like how it's just a little bit uneven to me. Okay, how we're going to make it beginner-friendly is to do this. That's beginner-friendly enough, isn't it? Okay, now, soap shavings. Here's what we're going to do. We're done with this now, this blender. Let's put this aside. Okay. I could have put the soap shavings directly in my container, but no, let's get you out of the way, buddy. Don't add too much. I could have gone crazy and really filled it up. But the problem with doing that, there's something else that I wanted to do, but I totally forgot about it. That's okay. Okay, that's it. Simple as that. I do need to. So this time I really did not overblend. You can see, you can probably see that it's very, very liquidy. You know, the white is not perfectly dispersed. Oh, fudge. That's the perfect consistency I wanted for last time. And this time around, it really doesn't matter. Funny how that happens. The way this is going, you might be thinking that I'm a total newbie. Huh. Well, kind of seems that way, doesn't it? All right. Now, where was I? I'll get back to this in a moment. I'm going to fill up these embeds first. And I have this feeling it's going to be as messy as last time. So I'm just going to use the paper. I want to pour with my other hand, but it's not going to happen, is it? I'm just going to, yeah. Sorry if I'm blocking your view. I know my limitations. Not the neatest. But I'm hoping because this is a little runnier, it's going to be really nice. And the goal is to get, see how there's some little bubbles coming out. I'm trying to get them to every little crevice and little cranny. There you go, some little bubbles coming out there. That's what I want to see. I want to see like, oh, look at that. I want to see this soap liquid going into every little, that's it. That's it. There shall be no gaps. Aha. Yeah, this is why you use, actually let me use this. So this is why you use the paper towel, because it just makes life so much better. Oh, look, I could have done, I don't know if that's a good idea. I may be damaging the actual mold itself by poking it. All right, now the hardest part is to leave this alone and not tamper with it for at least 48 hours. Now, if you watch my channel, you know that I'm very impatient, and my version of 48 hours, 24 hours is often a lot shorter than what it should be. All right. That was a little detour from all the rest, but it's okay. Now, I am relaxed right now. I don't need to fuss at all because the consistency of this soap batter is, yeah, well, as you can see, it's fine. And then all I'm going to do here is just, whoopsies. Yeah, I honestly don't care about, what am I thinking here? What's the word that I'm thinking of? I don't care about accuracy, or I don't have a type of pour that I'm looking at. Let's just get it looking cute and see how it turns out. The idea was to show you something that was so simple to do, and it's going to create a pretty cool effect. So imagine if you use some real popping colors. The colors that I use today are quite not conservative, but they're not as crazy as they could be. The only reason for that is I just wanted to see how this would go, because basically the soap shavings that I used were, a similar color to what I have here. Now, what you could do is you can actually get a bar of your soap that you've made previously and shave the whole thing down, get a lot more shavings. Keep in mind that your entire volume will shift, so you may end up with spillage. But yeah, no, I think it should be, but yeah, it should be fine. I'm not even going to put too much effort into this part. There's a bit of texture, good enough. Look at this perfect bloody consistency. Well, 5 seconds is really all we need. Who would have known? Okay, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. We are going to... Sorry you had to look at this ugly thing, this messy thing. Oh, yeah. We are going to unveil this in the next one. And I'm going to show you how the super simple pour ends up. What should we name this guy before we pop him into cure? You know what? I'll think of a name and a title. Right now, my brain is just not braining. I need to get a coffee. And I will see you in the next one. Peace out.